Hi there and welcome to the next MixFit class. Hope you're all well. Currently snowing where we are at the moment. So if you are snowing where you are at the moment, thank God we're inside. So for MixFit class, we've got a little bit of 4 different routines to do. We're going to start with a bit of mobility, and we're going to start with hamstrings today because they are getting particularly tight, particularly if you are a runner. They are usually very tight, so we're going to start there. So if you want to just find a little bit of space, put some music on if you want to. And if you do have any questions, if you're watching this externally and not live, then please just email me. Any of you who are live, obviously just unmute yourself and we can answer them then and there. So we're not going to go into a full body stretch out because we won't need to because of what we're doing. So you should be needing that. You won't be needing that afterwards. So hamstrings, just in case, they're these muscles here. Okay, so obviously one each side. Your glutes, they stop around there just before your glutes and they attach in, and then they come down to just above your knee. So they're quite long, thin muscles. There's more than one of them, and they often get very, very, very tight. So particularly if you are a runner. So we're going to see if we can stretch those out. So we're going to start with a standing straddle, actually. I'm just going to move the camera down very slightly. Unfortunately, it's going to chop my head off, but no bad thing. So obviously avoiding bits of furniture. So I want you to go fairly wide, okay, fairly wide with this. And we're going to roll down. So chin to chest, roll it down. And then if you can, you're going to place your hands onto the floor. Now, whether that's just your fingertips or your hands right down. It will depend on the flexibility currently of your hamstrings. So ideally, if you can bring your feet out as far as you can to allow your hands onto the floor, if you can see that. So if you are relatively flexible, that's not going to feel too difficult. If you aren't, then you can come right up here and just all balance on something if you need to. So we'll see how you feel. Now, the first thing we're going to do is a little tiny rock. So I'd like you to bring your hands just slightly further forward than feels natural, because you're going to lean forward and rock onto them. So wrists get a tiny bit of a stretch out here as well. So you're going to rock on and then just rock backwards. Please be aware of your balance on this one. It's a very gentle movement. So where you should feel is when you come forward, it's just a little pressure on your shoulders and wrists, very light pressure. And then when you come backwards, that's where you should feel the stretch. So the more you lean backwards, bum right out, the more of a stretch you're going to get. So let's just work our way through this slightly. So your feet are on the floor at the moment and possibly around the 45-degree mark. Again, whatever's more comfortable. And we're just going to do one more like this. So rocking forwards and then push backwards. Lovely. Coming back to sort of neutral. Now we're going to extend that slightly. So just be aware if your calf starts to cramp, obviously, please stop. So you're going to come forwards, then we're going to come up onto the toes. So lift the heels off the floor, up onto your toes. Very much balance required on this one. And then you're going to push your heels back down and sit back. So try to exaggerate that sit back as much as you can without falling. Your hands still remain on the floor. Come forward and lift. And if you're interested, that is the start of a gymnastics move. It's a straddle handstand. It's a little bit of gymnastics creeping in here. And up. Lift. A bit more pressure on your shoulders and wrists, that one. And push back. Okay, let's go for one more. Nice and strong. All the way up. Lift. Push it back. And stretch. Lovely. Okay, hands back to the center and just roll your feet very slightly further in. And then we're going to roll it up, curl your way, reverse what we did on the way down. And then you're just going to jump your feet together. Okay, that's our first one. So I should have started feeling a little bit more stretch. The second one we're going to do is actually probably a little bit more gentle on everything apart from your hamstrings. So I'm just going to angle that down. Oh, it really is starting to snow now. Okay, so we're lying onto the floor, so bring yourself down onto the floor, and then we're just going to nice and gently roll yourself back. Feel nice and comfortable, so get everything comfortable. One foot is going to remain on the floor. So we are going to swap, but one foot's going to remain on the floor. And then we're going to lift the other leg right up in the air. Now, depending again on your hamstring flexibility in the first place, that will feel very, very tight or relatively comfortable. So if it's really tight, just bend your knee very slightly. Okay, you should still feel that stretch. But if you're like, no, I'm not too bad, then just try and straighten that. Now, this is about the only time I will ask you to completely lock your leg out. Reason being is that there's no pressure on it. Obviously, you are upside down, so there is no pressure. If you can flex that foot as well, so we're trying to stay at 90 degrees, and then your foot is flexed at the top. Now, again, if that's quite uncomfortable, I just want you to hold on to it. Okay. If it's not, I want you to try and keep it there yourself, because you'll feel your hip flexor doing a bit of work as well. Now, if you've got this correct, it might be even a slightly bit tingly here and twitchy. Just let it relax. And then we're going to point and flex the toe. Now, what you'll feel is right at the back, and it's all the way up. This is also your calf is going to feel stretched on the way down and then released on the way up. Okay, so when you flex that foot, it extends the stretch, and then you point it, it releases it. Let's do that a couple more times. Okay, and just relax your foot. Now, wherever you are, I do want you to keep hold of that leg, and then we're going to just very gently ease it. Ease, not shove it towards you, and just relax those shoulders. Completely ideally, if you can avoid the knee bend, just basically slightly lower or slightly higher. Hold it there. Now that again, it might just start to quiver a little bit. It's just your muscles relaxing. If you can, this is a slightly more advanced version, then you can actually take hold of your toe if you want to. That is definitely more advanced, okay? So if you're like, my God, no chance, of course, you don't need to do this one. But if you are fairly flexible in the first place, this gets a little extra stretch. Okay, so wherever you are, we're going to release that foot, bend your knee, and then bring that down. Just do a little wiggle. Now, unfortunately, we have two sides, so we're going to be doing the other side. So other foot down onto the floor that you've just worked, we're shooting the other leg up to the ceiling. So again, a couple of options here. If you're like, no way, just bend your knee slightly. Try to keep it straight if you can, or you can assist using your hands if you want to, if that's more comfortable. The complete ideal is that we're up unassisted, and then I want you to flex that foot, so we're holding it there. Sort of feel as if you're going to be walking on the ceiling. That's the best way of thinking about it. And when you've got that other leg down, the hip flexor is doing a little bit of work as well, so holding it there. Now let's start those points and flex. That's it, just keep it there. And again, you can completely lock this leg out if you want to, if you're able to. If you're not, it's just as long as you're getting the stretch down the back of your legs is where we need to be. That's it, point and flex. Should be quite strong, that feeling. Not the easiest. Okay, and then we're stopping that. If you haven't got your leg around, just take a little grasp of it, and then we're going to pull that nice and gently towards you, trying very hard to keep that leg fairly straight, if you can. And again, after a few seconds, it should relax a little bit more, but it's still going to be quite uncomfortable. It might shake a little bit. That's okay, that's just your muscles reacting. All good. What we're trying to avoid is a sharp pinch. Okay, that's not what we need. Okay, for the more advanced, if you want to, you're taking hold of that foot. Now you may find this is definitely my weaker leg, but it's harder to do that one. I'm not as flexible on this side as I am on the other, so it's a little bit tougher, but still possible. Okay, and wherever you are, we're releasing, bending that leg and bringing that down. Good, just give it a little wriggle. Okay, so that is your second one. So we're going to roll ourselves back up, standing actually. And the final classic hamstring stretch that we're going to do is actually the classic runner's stretch. So you'll see a lot of runners doing this, hopefully before and after if they're doing it properly. I'd like to put one foot in front of the other, and then you're going to foot up, heel down, and then you're going to bend that other leg, and we're bending over it. Now, try very hard to avoid putting your hand on the leg that is straight. It's on the one that's bent. Okay, so if you can see that, please don't do that. It needs to be that. Okay, don't want pressure on your knee. And then you're going to sit backwards. So the further, if I turn to the side, the further you're sitting back on this, the further stretch you're going to feel all the way down. Now this does get your calf as well, but it's actually mainly hamstring. So push your bum out and keep that leg straight. And you should feel quite a nice stretch down here. And this is a typical one that you do see the runners doing. Now, again, to advance that slightly, if you're like, that's strong, but not too bad, then you're just going to lean and take the foot. And it's a very gentle hold onto the foot. You don't need to yank it up because it's already up. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, just walk forwards onto that one and just give it a little shake. And then we're going to swap. So other leg forwards, foot up. You're going to bend that leg that your weight is on and then hinge. The hinge is really important, and just as important is keeping your back straight. Hopefully you'll be able to see my back is dead straight there. What that does is just assist that stretch. If you're doing this, not really anything, you need to do that. Stick your bum right out. Holding it here, and the further down you hinge, you should feel more of a stretch. And again, for the more advanced of you, if you just want to hold on to that toe, then you can actually just relax down. Holding it here for 3, 2, and 1. Step forward onto that leg and give your legs a little shake. Excellent work. Right, so that is your first section. So hamstrings should be feeling really much more stretched out now. There are 3 really good classic hamstring stretches, so you can use those in the future if you need to. Right, now, something that I've been trying really hard to work on with people, just because it's actually really, really hard not to do this without a gym, is back work. So ideally, to get some really serious back work done, you do need some equipment. But actually, there's some nice, easy ways to do some fairly strong back work without any equipment at all, even without any weights. So I was going to have a look at that today with you. So we're going to come down onto our fronts. Actually, it's quite very low, this one. I will adjust the camera if you can't see me. I am going to have to shift back because furniture is going to be in the way. So if you you do need a little tiny bit more room than normal on this one, you're going to have to basically be able to put your arms around you. Okay, so if you've got that much space, that would be great. I am just going to tilt that down further. I think you're going to miss seeing what I'm doing. So we're going to start with, there are, I can't even tell you how many around the world types of exercises there are. There seems to be around the world for pretty much every set of muscles. This is a back related around the world. So we're going to actually come onto our fronts nice and comfortably, just roll it down. And then the movement is you're starting with your hands at the back. You're going to lift, and then you're going to come around. You're going to avoid your coffee table. And then you're going to come down. Lift it up all the way around, ideally with straight arms, and then back down again. So that's your around the world. If you want to make that harder, just add some little weights in. Okay, that is quite a lot harder though. So even with 1s or 2s, that's actually quite a lot harder. So don't underestimate, don't pick up 5s or anything unless you are really, really strong in the back, because it's stronger than it looks, this one. It will certainly do a very good job without any weights. So we're going to go for 30 seconds. So you're going to bring it up, around, down, up, around, and back. That's it. If you guys keep going, I'm just going to make sure that we're timed correctly. That's it. Keep it moving up and around. That's the one. Up, round, and back down. Oh, we've got some weights. And up and around. If you've got those weights, that's pretty heavy, darling. So just make sure your back doesn't take too much strain. So let's go for another few. I seem to have my 8-year-old assisting as well now. It's all right, sweetheart. I'll be done in a minute. Good boy. It is snowing. That's right. Okay, so we've got another few seconds. So just finishing up. So up and around and down and finish where you are. Fantastic. Right, that is our first one. There is a bit of a theme to this, so we should be in a very similar position. The second one is a sea turtle. So this is, the position is similar, but what you're being asked to do is slightly different. So you're actually in a fork shape now. And again, you can hold on to weights for this one. Keep your neck neutral so you're not straining it. Lift up and back and squeeze. So squeeze your shoulder blades and bring it down and release. So up and squeeze and back to release. Okay, so your shoulders and your chest should be lifting off the floor and your back muscles should be doing the work. And just, if you carry on, I'll just start the timer. Where you should be feeling this is there. Okay, so it's sort of mid-back. And then when you squeeze your shoulder blades, you'll feel that right by your shoulders, okay? Or the back of your shoulders. So just keep that going, that's it. Keep that moving around. It's not a big move, okay? It's a small move, but it should feel quite strong. Squeeze and down, lovely. And let's do one more wherever you are. So you're up and squeeze, bringing it back and release, fantastic. All right, so that's our second one. The third one, we're going to do some swimmers. Now, this is probably the more advanced one. If you were using weights on this, probably lose them or bring them right down. But you certainly can use weights with this one. So again, we're on to our fronts and your hands are coming forwards and then you are going to opposite move your arms and legs. Okay, so the pace is here. So literally like you're swimming. You do have to squeeze your glutes and you've got to keep your arms straight and your back should do the work on that. So when you're ready, off we go. Got about 30 seconds. It's actually quite tough. That's looking really good. That's it. Flap, 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 flap. Very, very odd move, this one, but it's quite effective. And I'd say probably the hardest out of the ones that we've done. That's it. Keep it moving. So you've got just over 10 seconds to go. That's it. Wonderful. And 5, 4. That's it. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it down. Absolutely lovely. Wonderful. Okay, so that is your that's your back movements. So again, if you are watching this recording, you can just repeat that if you want to. We're going to move on to section 3, which is actually a shoulder burn now. So we're going to do, we are actually going to need some weights for this. So if you have no weights, you can do this without weights. It's absolutely no problem. But if you do happen to have weights, this is going to be quite helpful. I would suggest it depends on how fit you are and how strong the muscles are. But we probably need to go around a 5. Okay, so Barnaby in particular, my darling, I would go for 4s. That's what you've got. And we're going to start with an underhand grip shoulder press. So I'm going to do, first of all, I'm actually going to take my jumper off because I'm going to get far too hot and also you are going to be able to see easier. I'm just going to make sure I don't knock. There we go. Right, okay, so let's get the timer. Okay, so we're going to, I've got 6s here, but I'm not going to be doing the whole thing. So what you need to do is grip it this way. Okay, so normally we're doing things that way. For this one, we're going to spin it round. And I'm going to show you basically on the side. So we're going to come up and down. All right, they don't have to be dead straight, but they need to be fairly close. So up and down, push, up, down. Okay, that's the movement. Just keep it nice and steady. There is no need to rush this one. So when you're ready, my lovelies, let's go for it. That's it, push it up and down. Again, we're going to do 30 seconds. Keep an eye on it. And of course, if you haven't got any weights as well, we're going to do this with no weights. Again, if you keep your hands together a little bit more like that, that's quite a lot harder, okay, than if you just do that. So push them together if you don't have weights. That's quite tough in its own right anyway without any weights. If you have got the weights, you're bringing them down, pushing them up and bringing them down nice and gently. Your arms are very unlikely to go completely straight. That's absolutely fine. And finishing off the one you're doing, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, so that is your first one. The second one we're going to do is an Arnie Press. My favorite, love an Arnie Press. Oh, I'm doing this a lot in the gym. So when we're back there, so it is quite specific move. So you're out into a fork shape. You're going to semicircle up, and then you're going to bring that forwards. Okay, let me do that to the side. So you're up and then forwards. Okay, up, forwards. Now, I wouldn't go too heavy with this unless you are very, very used to it. It's actually quite difficult. So I've just done that with sixes. That's quite hard. So the movement, again, just to remind you, we're in a fork shape. Make sure that you stay in that fork shape. We're not shifting that down. That's half of the point. Semicircle all the way up to the top, and then you're going to bring that forwards together and back out. All right, my lovelies, off we go. Again, we're going to do 30 seconds. This is not a fast, God, it really is fine now. It's not a fast move. Push forwards, bringing it up, and then pushing forwards. That's it, keep it going. That's looking really good. That's it, wonderful. And lift and forwards. And let's go for one more. So we're out, lift up, and then bring it forwards. Excellent work, that's lovely, well done. Right, your third one in this section is a front and side lat raise. I really wouldn't go heavy on this one or nothing, okay? So probably Barnaby, the twos would be working well for you. Okay, so this one is a version, okay? So we're here, and then you're straight out here. Bring it forwards and bringing it out. Now, be careful when you're going forwards that you're not starting to do that, because it sort of decides it might want to help you. So you're coming right out to the side, no further than 90 degrees, right to the front, squeeze your glutes, no further than 90 degrees. Okay, you don't need to go any higher than that. You can certainly do this without weights as well. So if you are doing this without weights, just go a little bit faster. Okay, up and out. That will start to add up after 30 seconds. Off we go. Nice, out and up, out, and squeeze. You really do need to squeeze those glutes on the way up, otherwise that will start to flow, which is not what we need. That's it, bringing it up and bringing it out. Perfect, keep it going. We've got another 10 seconds, looking good. Wonderful, and 3, 2, just finish the one that you're doing and relax. Perfect. Very, very nice. Okay, so again, if you've got longer and you want to do this, you can always repeat that 2 or 3 times, and that really should get those shoulders burning. The last one we're going to do, I just want to spend a little bit more time doing this one, just get a little bit of a sweat on. So we are going to do this one twice. Is it's the Let's Get Sweaty section. Oh yes. So first we're going to do a narrow to a wide squat. So I'm just going to put this back here. So narrow to a wide squat. Then we're going to do a scissor lunge to a crisscross, which I'll show you. And then we're going to do a speed press up with a shoulder tap in it. Okay, so again, I'll show you all of that. So we're going to start with narrow to wide squats. Not necessarily the most difficult one. Just got to concentrate. So with your wide, I would go 45, and then I want you to jump into narrow and then back out. So we are down, jump it in, and then therefore your feet are forwards and jump it down. So I'll show you that from the side. So we're to the side, jump it in, backwards. Okay, you've really got to sit backwards on that. The jump's not enormous, it's just a little jump to bring you back in. So let's go with that. So we're going to go for 20 seconds and then a 10-second break, okay? Then I will show you the next one. So are we ready? 3, 2, 1, that's it, off you go. Wide and narrow, fantastic. And again, for the recording, wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Okay, get a little bit of a pace on because we're not doing that many. You're well over halfway already. Looking good. And narrow, and wide, and one more. Excellent, okay, marching it out. I'll explain the second one. So your scissor lunge to crisscross. So lunging, you're going backwards. You're going to scissor lunge, crisscross, okay? Then we're back again. So scissor lunge, crisscross, reverse, scissor lunge, crisscross, okay? You've got to concentrate a little bit on this one. If you're getting a complete mess, doesn't matter, just keep moving as long as you're moving. All right, are we ready? 3, 2, and 1. So down, scissor lunge, and crisscross. That's it. Scissor lunge, that's it. Keep it moving. So I'll do this one with you. So again, scissor lunge, crisscross. Start again. Scissor lunge, crisscross. That's it. It's just a brain teaser, this one, from being cruel. And 3, 2, and 1. That's it. Fantastic. Right, again, we're going to march that out. Your last one, a speed press up. So we're coming down, and we're going to work our way through this fairly quickly. So 1, 2, 3, tap, tap. Now your speed press up is a half press up, okay? So 1, 2, 3, tap, tap. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, tap, tap. 1, 2, 3, tap, tap. Okay, 20 seconds. You can actually get quite a few in there. Are we ready? 2, 1. Off you go. That's it. 1, 2, 3, tap, tap. That's it. Really quick. 3, tap, tap. Perfect. Push, push, push. Tap, tap. Perfect. Keep it going. And 3, 2, 1. Try and finish it. Yes. Tap, tap. Well done. Excellent work. Right. So that's our 3. We're going to work out, we've got time. We're going to work our way through that set again. So just a reminder, we're going to start with those narrow to wide squats. I will keep an eye on the timing. It's 20 seconds, 10 seconds break. Much quicker, this one. Right. Narrow to wide squats. 2, 1. Off you go. So out. Bring it in. Bring it out. And in. Not too far out, not too far in. You're leaving a little bit of a gap. Try and get in as many as you can. Woo, a few seconds to go. Keep it going. Out. And 3, 2, and 1. March it out. That's it. Right. 10 seconds break. Okay. The second one we're going to go for is a scissor lunge to crisscross. A real mind bender, this one. Are we ready? In 3, 2, and 1. So down, crisscross, and scissor, crisscross, and go again. Scissor, crisscross. That's it. Keep it going. Looking good. Time for a few more. Looking good, looking good. Oh, brilliant. 2, 1. Relax. Absolutely lovely. Right, 10 seconds break. March it out. Last to the last. You're doing really well. We're going to come down for those speed press ups. All right. Okay, 9 and 10. Off you go. So 1, 2, 3. Tap, tap. Just keep working your way through. These are not easy. Boop, boop. 2, 3. Tap, tap. And relax. Well done. Excellent work. Absolutely excellent. Well done, my love. Oh, now, as you can probably hear, you are supposed to be quite out of breath on that one, so no problems. All right, my lovelies. Well, I'm just going to wrap that up in the last minute with a little tiny cool down and a little stretch. So if you want to bring yourself back up again, you will do a little standing stretch. So, oh my goodness, I hope you don't have to go for a walk now. It is absolutely tipping down. So all the way up, deep breath in, hands up to the top, and just come onto your toes. Stretch all the way up, deep breath in, and relax. One arm up, hand onto your hip, and reaching it over. Nice stretch, using your arm as a weight, and being up. Oh, kids are coming to check out whether they can get a snowman out of this. I think not yet, boys. And up. Okay, rolling it down. All the way down. Relax. And then rolling it all the way up. And once you get to the top, just rolling. Rolling. And the other way. Good. Just bringing one leg up and just give that a little wriggle. And then hold on to it. Squeeze. Good. And then the other side, lifting up. Little wriggle with that ankle and then squeeze. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.